Welcome to this new episode in the podcast series from Opine Group. And today we are going to talk more about what this analytics is all about. What is artificial intelligence? What is machine learning? And people get confused about this and feel that this area is not for me. But interestingly, each and everyone can get into this field. Yes, you heard it right. This field can be for all of us. And for that, with us, we have Dr. Yogesh Kulkarni with us. So Dr. Yogesh is basically from Pune. He did his schooling from Pune and then he did his engineering from College of Engineering, Pune. After that, he went to US and he did his MS and worked in US for about a year, and then he got back to India and explored his mechanical engineering and CAD/CAM area. And interestingly, he got and settled into this field of analytics. How? We are going to talk with him. Welcome, Yogesh.
Thanks, Anand.
So I'm really excited and thrilled. And not just because I'm going to get our viewers into this discussion about analytics, but more importantly, I feel so happy that I have seen you since our childhood days, and we
That's
have
true.
played on the ground and all those school level fun. I still remember that.
Wonderful, yeah.
And I also see you as a very seasoned professional now. And I know bulk of the journey you've gone through, but I would like to know it at a sequence.
Yes, sure.
And I'm sure my viewers are also going to like this
Sure.
entire conversation.
Yes,
So welcome again.
thank you.
So Yogesh, if you could tell how the transition happened into this career field. So a broader question, but could you please tell right from your school days till how you landed into your own career?
Wonderful. Yeah, as you said, I'm from Pune, Sadashivpet,
Yes.
and did schooling there. Went to COEP, did mechanical engineering, did MS, and then worked in field called CAD/CAM, computer-aided design
Mhm.
and manufacturing,
Okay.
software development,
Mhm.
C++ programming, basically.
And this is that field where you have to know mechanical, right?
Yes. It is basically shape design, machine design, but on computer.
Okay.
So that's the idea. And there are quite a few well-known companies in Pune.
Mhm.
So I worked with some of them. So I did that for more than 2 decades.
Wow.
And then decided that I should learn more.
Mhm.
So decided to do PhD full-time.
Great.
So enrolled in COEP again. And while I was working on the research problem, I came to know via one paper that there is a new field called machine learning that is being talked about in this paper.
Right.
And machine learning for CAD/CAM. So that was a novel idea. I'll probably talk about one example. Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
So if this is a table, in my research, I had to identify certain features. Features meaning some shapes, small shapes like holes or fillets or chamfers, and then suppress them, remove them so that the shape becomes very simple. Okay. Then the further analysis is simpler.
Okay.
So that's the idea.
Okay.
And I was doing research and writing logic by hand. Okay, writing
Programming.
coding. But then this paper came and said, you don't have to program.
Wow.
What you have to do, you have to give some examples. That this is the original shape, complex,
Mhm.
and this is the simple shape
Okay.
with features removed, right? Simple shape.
Right.
And if you supply hundreds of such examples, somebody just evolves the logic. That approach is actually machine learning.
Great.
And that was a wow moment for me, and decided that this is the field I'm going to be in.
Okay.
So at that moment, I decided, and then of course I finished my PhD, did defense, and then of course I came to you because in mechanical engineering, you typically do mathematics, linear algebra, meaning vectors and matrices that you do.
Right.
Programming I was doing for 20 years, but in machine learning, a third major field is data and statistics of data.
Okay.
So that I was missing. So basically then I contacted you and started in-person class with you.
Awesome. So actually, I saw you how you got into this field.
Correct.
I'll go back a little bit. for all the viewers, so not everybody is from engineering college.
Correct.
I know you are very studious. You were always were studious, and you did a lot of work to even shine in your mechanical career and CAD CAM, and all of us know that. And your PhD is very much related to CAD CAM,
Correct.
and then you got into AI.
Correct.
My question goes to all those viewers who are not engineers.
Correct.
They could be from some other field,
Correct.
and they might be confused whether this field is for them.
Correct.
So, could you relate your own example to those people who are not engineers or are from some other industry,
Correct.
and how they can get into this or why they need to get into this?
Correct. There are multiple reasons
Sure.
where you can why you should get into this.
So, when I say this is about analytics at large.
Analytics.
Okay.
So in basically, then I'll expand the term analytics itself
Okay,
to
sure.
start with.
Okay.
So whenever we say data analytics, it is about analysis of data. Simple, right?
Correct.
And the way people are using it now is what is I call as descriptive analysis.
Mhm.
Meaning data is what? Information of past in numbers which is stored in computer, right? So
Okay.
the analysis of that data. I treat it as description of past and then getting insights and then
Mhm.
making decisions. Basically, businesses use that intelligence from data.
Hmm.
AIML is little different, okay? It's part of data analysis, data science only, but machine learning is typically for prediction of future. Looking at the data, can you predict what's going to happen? And machine learning is part of a larger umbrella called
Okay.
artificial intelligence.
Okay.
So I'll explain the term also.
Sure.
Artificial intelligence, of course, intelligence that is artificial. The other intelligence is human intelligence, HI. So whatever we think as intelligent, very complex tasks like playing chess,
Mhm.
doing translation, driving car, you need brains, right?
Absolutely.
You need intelligence. So if software starts doing that, at least simplistically we can call it as artificial intelligence.
Right.
So that's a very umbrella term, a big term. So all the approaches that try to mimic human intelligence
Mhm.
are artificial intelligence. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
basically, I have seen people play chess with computers.
Correct. So,
So
the
that
other
is a
side is
closer-
AI.
Yes. Yes.
Correct. So machine learning is actually part of artificial intelligence which uses data.
Hmm.
Okay. There was artificial intelligence in past in our school days
Correct.
where even AI was programmed, hand coded.
Mhm.
But then machine learning came where you don't have to do hand coding, just supply data as I mentioned in the example, and the logic comes out. There's another term that gets thrown around, it's called deep learning.
Okay.
It is actually a subset of machine learning.
Mhm.
It does all things that machine learning does, but with a different technique called neural networks.
Right.
That's about it. It also does prediction, it does regression, classification, clustering, all those approaches in machine learning, but using neural networks.
Mhm.
And another fashionable thing that people are doing now is generative AI. So AI
So AI has types now.
has two types primarily. So whatever we saw, looking at the data, analyzing it, and then predicting whether this is a good review, bad review, is it a cat or a dog?
Okay.
All this analysis is actually called as discriminative AI.
Okay.
Okay. And the opposite of it is generative AI. What is generative AI? It generates.
Right.
So it does not analyze per se in the task,
Mhm.
but it generates new things. Writing stories, writing emails, creating new pictures.
Okay.
So that is generative AI. So it's actually a journey if you see. AI, big set, machine learning, deep learning, and another portion of AI, type of AI is generative AI.
So
Yes.
what is Chat GPT? It generates something.
It generates, right? So whenever you type something, it generates the answer.
Right.
And if you look very closely, it generates it word by word.
Mhm.
And you feel as if it has written paragraphs and all, but slowly it is doing word by word.
Absolutely.
So there is what is called as large language model behind it.
Okay.
It's actually a deep learning model. Its job is just to predict the next word.
Yeah.
That's it. The way if you're using mobile, everybody does. While typing SMS, no, it suggests you next word,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Same phenomenon, but it is done by a large neural network.
Okay.
Predict next word, that word goes back. With that sentence, predict next word. That way, it continues to write. So ChatGPT is LLM.
Great. So thanks for explaining all
Yeah.
this. But I go back to my question
Correct,
that
correct.
why can anybody in the industry,
Correct.
even though they are not as engineered approach the way you are talking now,
Correct.
but I'm like a normal person working
Correct.
and everybody's talking about AI and analytics and data science, and I feel left out. Okay, for those kind of people,
Correct.
how would you explain that this is for them?
Okay. So there are two main reasons. First is a little frivolous reason, because there are jobs, right?
Okay.
Because the field is hard, you have to go there, so that's there.
Okay.
But there is another more serious reason.
Mhm.
In any and every industry now, data is getting generated.
Right.
Be it automobile, be it manufacturing, be it even arts,
Mhm.
be it social networks, everywhere data is getting generated. It's just not numbers that is data.
Mhm.
People mistake it by saying that just numbers are data. No, even text is data.
Right.
Sound files are data. Videos are data. Your tweets are data. Your social network engagements are data. Everything is data, because it is in computer and it can be retrieved. Right?
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
as there is data, every domain wants to leverage that data.
Mhm.
So, if you are in finance, you're not a programmer.
Correct.
Still, data is available.
Absolutely.
So, if you learn data science, if you learn AI, ML, DL, maybe as a user, not as a programmer,
Okay.
then your prospects and then your survivability in the industry increases.
Sure.
So that's the reason.
So great, actually, and you are spot on when you say people are doing everything because they need jobs. But there are some others who are going beyond the jobs because job is there.
Correct.
They have their businesses. But if we see the transition which happened about 30, 40 years ago, where everything which was manually done
Correct.
got into transactional systems.
Correct.
Now everybody is doing transactional systems. Like
Correct.
we go and we pay by GPay or any UPI, we make payments. That is generating a lot of data.
Correct.
And people don't understand what to do with
What
that
to do.
data.
Correct.
So I think what you just explained, if you feel that you can use this data, or you can use those transactions more simpler for simpler understanding,
Correct.
then you can probably start predicting something.
Wonderful.
Or even analyzing something, right?
Wonderful.
So that's what I'm getting out of this
Perfect.
discussion.
Perfect.
So almost everybody knows what to do next,
Correct.
except they don't know how to do it with the computers.
Correct. Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for bringing it that way. And now I know that you yourself are an example about what I'm talking, that you were deep into mechanical engineering.
Correct.
And so deep that you did this for 20 years.
Correct.
And now you are almost working with any field.
Correct.
So could you help how you got into this field?
Correct.
Step by step for all my
Yes,
viewers
yes.
who don't know anything about computers.
So I was talking about my journey, and then I saw that paper where that guy was using data to get the logic. And then I thought, this is the field I wish to be in.
Right.
So I analyzed my own strengths, that I'm okay in mathematics, I'm okay in programming, because I was doing that for 20 years, but not in statistics and databases. So I came to you, did that course. And then basically these three things are typically needed for machine learning. And then I decided that I have to do it full time, right?
Right.
But then the situation comes where this is a big challenge. A 40-plus-year-old guy starting a new field altogether, nobody is going to give you a job, right? Basically. And I wanted to do something on my own. So I decided to do freelancing, but really free in that sense. So I would go to some people, have their real life problems, and then apply data science related techniques and get the work done. So I did that many times.
So interesting. I'm going to probably interrupt you while you are unfolding your journey.
Correct.
But you said that you were eager to try some things out for free also.
Correct.
So that is a mindset you have.
Absolutely.
So if nobody is going to give you job A to job B and pay you handsome, even if you don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So how was that challenge when you were eager and you were okay not to get paid? Did people accept you, or they took your interviews, or you had to demonstrate something?
Actually, if somebody is getting a seasoned guy for free, nobody says no.
Okay, so you
I
got to be
was,
seasoned.
so I was a programmer for sure.
Okay.
I was sort of okay in mathematics for that. Only thing that I had a new role. I was not in CAD/CAM. I was not a director or whatever manager level in CAD/CAM, but a fresher.
Okay. So you were
Absolutely a fresher.
individual contributor, so to
Individual
say.
contributor, a fresher in data science. That's why I went for free. And my own selfishness there was I would get to do real data analysis or prediction, plus my portfolio will get built. Okay. So that's how I went to, I hopped couple of startups
Okay.
and did projects with them. Parallelly, I did one more thing. So if you want to master a field, a new field, you of course do courses, online courses, offline courses. That's the normal trend.
Sure.
Another dramatically different thing that one can do is to start teaching.
Okay.
Once you are forced to teach, then you learn yourself rather well because somebody is going to ask you questions.
Absolutely.
So that's what I did. I started doing trainings. Maybe Python, then machine learning. As I made progress myself, I started teaching. I started giving talks.
Great.
Free. I mean, community engagement, two selfish motives here. Of course, that will build my own prowess, my own power in that field.
And to some extent, it's a noble cause also. So if you got to know something, why not share?
Correct. But the second part is it gives you networking, it gives you publicity. Then you are in front of 40 people all the time, right? 40, every time the different set comes, and they sort of know that this guy is there who knows whatever he knows and is able to explain well. So that actually landed me into job.
Great.
So that's how my transition, although there were 2 years in between from my PhD and actually I got job, but I did quite a few startups, projects, and then teaching simultaneously, and then I got formal job.
Okay. So here is what I gathered actually. You were just learning. So everybody needs to learn.
Correct.
Everybody needs to practice. Even if required, practice it for free.
Correct.
And then you express yourself, right? So
Absolutely.
that is one of the key thing you told.
Correct.
As you express, who knows, you might just land up into a job.
Correct.
So instead of waiting for those interviews, start talking, and one of your talk could be your interview.
Perfect.
Did that really happen? You got a job or something like
Absolutely.
that? Oh, wow.
I got the job. So as you said rightly, Anand, you typically go for a job interview and there are 4 or 5 people talking to you. If you consider this talk itself is an interview.
Absolutely.
It's actually a public interview. You're talking to 40 guys, not 5 guys.
Right.
And then you're talking on a subject for 40 minutes and taking any and every question.
Okay.
You're able to answer. That itself instills confidence in the audience.
Great.
And that's what happened. Some of the guys in the audience probably referred me and I got the job.
Okay. So now you were working and now we got to know the entire story now. But often there is a question asked when people want to transition that whatever I was doing in the past, does it really come down to zero? Because I feel whatever you have done in the field always remains with you. And when people have this notion that, if I learn this something new, like analytics or data science, then I go back to zero, which I don't think, but I would like to know your views on that. How could you use whatever you have done in your career?
So you never reset to zero. Okay. That's the bottom line. Because essentially everything is actually problem solving. If you have done problem solving for 20 years, then of course this is just a new technique, using data. But the old techniques, old understanding, algorithms, they never fade away. They also use, and actually it's actually an advantage because you have some serious algorithmic background. You can leverage that. You can leverage your maturity. You can leverage your domain knowledge. Right. And of course, soft skills. If you're able to manage a project, if you're able to manage team, customer, everything stays as is.
Correct.
Only a new technique has got introduced in your portfolio. That's
Yeah.
about it.
So that's actually keep learning always so
Correct.
that you go to the newer trends and possibly keep yourself updated.
Correct.
Even get paid more.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to ask question on how much you get paid, but
Yeah.
I'm sure that is really lucrative these days.
Absolutely.
But talking about learning a little bit, I want to focus on that learning aspect now, because everything else is going to help you if you have learned.
Correct.
Because I always say, if there is no content, then what are you going to talk about?
Correct.
So gathering that content, is there a method or some suggestions you could give to our viewers?
So there are a couple of ways actually.
Mm-hmm.
First, as I said, you learn by doing some offline, online courses.
Sure.
But there are, and then of course you can do teaching. But at certain point, you cannot go on learning infinitely, right? You
Right.
have to have some milestones.
Absolutely.
What are these concrete milestones? So at least in data science, there are quite a few milestones. Okay. First, you can do POCs. So as I did, I went to a couple of startups, did projects, and if they allow, or if you want to do it on your own, you do POCs, proof of concept,
Proof of concept projects.
and put these projects, your code base, on GitHub.
Okay.
So have multiple projects on GitHub. GitHub is a site where you can share code and people can see it.
Great.
You can build a portfolio like that.
Absolutely.
So nowadays, apart from your resume, normal, whatever, 1 page or 2 page resume PDF or docx, your GitHub is a new resume. There people can see your code,
Yeah.
how you code it, how you have solved it. That's actually proof of your coding.
So learn and share.
Learn and share. Second thing is you can...
And it's a good thing actually. Even if you're scared of talking initially,
Correct.
sharing this way is actually easier.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to talk to anybody.
Right.
And people will just see what you have done.
And make you talk.
Make you talk. And in interviews, you can always talk about these projects and you're well versed with it. So
Correct.
it becomes a material to talk about.
Right.
Second thing, there are quite a few competitions available. Hackathons, which I've heard.
Okay.
There are Indian hackathons, international hackathons. But I would suggest a specific site. This site is called as Kaggle, Kaggle.
Right.
There, they announce competitions every now and then.
Okay.
Typically, machine learning, deep learning related, AI related competitions. Good part is that they give you data, ready data.
Great.
Typically, very nicely curated data, easy to be used. And then they give environment there to code. Do programming there and there.
Awesome.
So you pull that data, do coding, publish results, and they publish what is called as leaderboard. Leaderboard meaning rank, some rank.
Okay.
So if you are within say top 10 percentile in the leaderboard, then I'm sure people are going to call you, right? So it becomes your publicity other way. No need to go anywhere. Sitting at home, doing this Kaggle competition. If you achieve good results, offers will line up in that sense. So this is the other way to do own publicity and demonstrate your power.
Great. Yogesh, it's a thrilling experience so far talking to you. And I know we have time constraints today. But just the last question from my side, because I'm sure our viewers are going to get excited. But they still would like to summarize this in some 1, 2, 3 points. That tell me exactly now where I need to start so that anybody and everybody can come into this world of analytics. How would you summarize that?
I think 2 principles basically. So whatever your domain is, so if you are in finance, pharma, writing, artist, let the domain be there.
Okay.
We have to do what is called as cross-pollination. So this is your domain. And if at all you have data, then just learn this new technique of how to manage, analyze, or use that data. This cross combination is going to make you survive in your own domain. So you're not leaving your domain. Whatever 10, 15, 20 years you have spent, you have to leverage that, but using a new technique of data science.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Yogesh.
Thank you.
And it was a great experience talking to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Anand.
Yeah. So viewers, this was really, really exciting. So everybody and anybody can come into this field of analytics or data science or AI and ML, deep learning. These are the various names we heard today. And the most important thing we also heard was you don't have to change your career and jump into something and feel that you are lost. You can begin from where you are right now. All you need to do is start learning. There are these simple courses and great mentors around you. Take help, share your findings, and start talking about it. Start sharing your knowledge. And you know what? You will see that you have got into that career. You will start using analytics into your current role. That's really, really exciting. So, thank you very much for giving a thought, and I look forward to see you into world of analytics.